Hi, this is Celeste Carmichael, Program Development and Accountability Specialist for Cornell Cooperative Extension. I'm recording a tour of our reporting system for you, the Access 4-H Program Managers at National 4-H Council. It turns out that we're not able to provide you access to the system directly, so I thought that a look at the system with a little narrative might be helpful, so that you could take a second peek at it if you need to. I'm going to just start by giving you a little bit of a background about where it fits in and what we're trying to do. Our cooperative extension reporting system, Cornell Cooperative Extension Reporting System here in New York State, is a part of what's called the Business Systems Launchpad, a host of applications that all come together and are intended to be useful to our county association staff, campus faculty, and administrative staff. They're all sort of integrated, and as you're going to see, and as I'll talk about a little bit, the piece that we're hoping Access 4-H will interface with is our participant list tool, or our application that allows associations to indicate how many participants they have in particular program areas. And I'll just click on that here. Okay, and show you, oops. So this is the application where they actually enter numbers. They can do it either on the web through a web form that has an opportunity to define their program and list event names, and then give a summary of data. There is an opportunity for them to provide individual enrollment data, much like enrolling an individual 4-H member through the Access 4-H system. Or they can do it through an import form, and those are the forms that I had sent your way prior to, just before we talked, and I think I resent them again after we talked earlier this week. I'm going to start just by telling you the couple of things that we're really hoping for here is that in the end we're really looking for your help on creating a standard report for each of the mission mandate areas for group enrollment, and it sounds like it would be easier for you and certainly would work for us if there was one for group enrollment and one for individual enrollment, so that we're able to gather as much demographic information as possible for our system. And then the other thing that we'll be looking for your help on is some directions for creating a customized report for counties who have defined their programs in a different way or more narrowly than the mission mandates. And some of the examples that might be a narrowly defined program would be 4-H robotics or incubation embryology, 4-H animal science, energy education, some of those specific areas. And a county might want to run data on those defined areas to report back to funders or partners or stakeholders in some way, shape, manner, or form. But if they don't have a reason to define their programs more narrowly, defining them by mission mandate will certainly work. It will work with our reporting system in the end, and I think it will. What I know of Access 4-H, it will be an easy enough report for you. And as for timeline, as we talked earlier this week, our counties are going to be reporting their data back in this reporting system. It's due with the end of November, so if we had an easy reporting system or methodology and directions for counties to export from Access and import into the participant list tool by, say, middle to October 21st, it would give everyone enough time to work with the system, ask questions before our system deadline. So from here, I'll just show you a couple things. There's import forms here in Excel. that can be downloaded. And county might, this is an example of a county define their program as 4-H rocketry. And then on this group enrollment form, they might list all of their events, dates, duration, attendee type, and demographics. Or this might be information that could be exported directly from Access 4-H. And then this Excel spreadsheet would have to be saved as a CSV file. And then what they would do is import that. So if it was a group enrollment form, they would just choose spreadsheet template. And then the program that they're importing into, Science Rocketry, choose the enrollment form. And then they would go ahead and just import it from there. So in case it's helpful, we also sent you some of the forms that have sample data in them already. So here's one with tree pruning information. It was just a sample. Again, the events are listed, the dates, the hours, attendee type, and the other information. Now, I should probably say too, if some of this information wasn't available through the Access 4-H reporting system, like attendee type, if it's blank, if it's left empty, you can still import forms. We're just looking to collect as much information as we possibly can. All right, so those are the enrollment forms and the samples. I'm just going to show you quickly what happens with the data once it's imported into the system. I think that might help you to understand what we're trying to do. So if the 4-H rocketry program was defined by a county and data was entered in for the county would then be able to look at might be able to look at all of the attendees, all of the information, in a variety of ways. So if they were reporting back to a funder, say the funder wanted to know, how many participants they've had in the last 2 months for 4-H rocketry. And so they can report by a particular period of time. They could pull a report for just volunteers if they wanted to, or an EPO report on participation. So there's a variety of reports and exports that they can pull and have that data become useful in different ways and help tell the story of cooperative extension in 4-H. The other reason that we're pulling this this data is connecting it to program outcomes. So I'm going to open up the 4-H Science Rocketry program. So we just put the data in there. You'll see on the top of the screen all of the data reported through the program participant, volunteer, and mailing list tool is listed up top. And then on the bottom there is a list of all of the indicators that are part of our statewide plan of work around these particular topical areas. So when rocketry was defined as a program, we had to align it. The county who created that program, defined that program, would have to align it with up to 3 of the plan of work items that are part of our statewide plan of work. And when 4-H science rocketry was defined, it was aligned with the youth plan of work. So when I go back to program outcomes, and pull up the science rocketry, you'll see the outcomes around youth, which include positive youth development, 4-H science, and citizenship, which we call youth community action. There's indicators there, and counties, as they're adding data, are asked to make a judgment call, hopefully based on some kind of evaluation of how many participants have demonstrated a particular skill set or applied knowledge, and with the intention that then this data is much more useful in telling our story and helping to report back to funders and stakeholders on the value of the work that we're doing. So I'm showing you this because I think it might be useful for you to see why we're pulling information in this way instead of using the ES237 totals, which we have done in the past. In the very recent past, we've been trying to use data that kind of aligns more closely with our plans of work. Cornell Cooperative Extension is not unique in doing this. Every land-grant institution has to report their numbers. How they do it sounds like it happens in many different ways, but this is the reporting system that we're using in New York for Cornell Cooperative Extension. So we're really hoping that you can help us with this project and initiative, and hope that thinking through some of these might be these items might help all of us as we look at defining and counting all the participants and figuring out the best way to share the story of the good work that we're doing with 4-H Youth Development and with all folks that participate in cooperative extension. So thanks so very much. I hope this tour was helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions. cjc17@cornell.edu. Celeste Carmichael. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.